reality is, wherever Drake goes, a trail of violence usually follows. Now, it might just be that he's a target of a lot of unwanted attention, given he's one of the biggest stars in rap, or maybe Drake's mob ties aren't just lyrics in a song. In March of 2018, Delia nightclub in LA was packed with celebrities turning up for the night. Some of the guests in attendance included Odell Beckham Jr., Yowns Benjamin, a former boxer who'd been dating Kourtney Kardashian, and Drake, all of whom were enjoying the club from the VIP section. Things went left when Summer Rae, then an up-and-coming IG model, approached VIP and asked to be let in. Summer Rae, being, well, Summer Rae, was welcome to the section, but her boyfriend at the time, Bennett Sipes, was flat out rejected by Drake. The thing about Sipes is that he actually worked in Delia as a server, but was partying at the club on his night off. Needless to say, Drake letting in Sipes' model girlfriend and then rejecting him definitely sent a message. An argument broke out that quickly escalated, and that's when Drake allegedly gave his crew the throat/gesture, which witnesses interpreted as a green light for his entourage to give Sipes a beatdown. Sipes was shoved out the back of the club and then got stomped out by members of Drake's team and Yowns Benjamin. As all this broke out, Drake was seen in the video observing the whole thing go down, and witnesses said it was almost as if it was done for entertainment. Drake and Odell eventually got hit by a lawsuit from Sipes for their role in the beating. It also came out that Drake had built close ties with the owner of Delia, a company called the H. Wood Group. According to an insider report, H. Wood Group had a reputation for bending the law and putting employees in shady situations in order to cater to their celebrity clientele. And at the top of their A-list clientele was Drizzy himself. Now, Drake has dropped hints about street affiliations throughout his lyrics. His song Mob Ties is a thinly veiled reference to the bond he has with Jay Prince, long considered to be the most feared man in hip-hop. Jay Prince was the guy who stepped in to settle beefs Drake had with Puff Daddy, Pusha T, and Kanye, which just goes to show the amount of influence this man has. Part of the reason why Drake's highly publicized beef with Pusha T didn't escalate any further was because Jay Prince stepped in and called an end to the back and forth. It's pretty much well known that any rapper coming up through Houston is supposed to check in with Jay Prince and his Mob Ties crews in order to ensure their security. The fact that Jay Prince's team rides so heavily for Drake signifies just how deep their business and street connections are. One of the most well-known people in Drake's inner circle is Chubbs, who is routinely referred to as his muscle and head of security. Drake is routinely referred to Chubbs as the member of the team that would catch a body for him, and Chubbs has even backed it up himself, saying in an interview, "I'm not ever gonna let nothing happen to him." Chubbs was famously accused for beating up Detail, a music producer who refused to offer a work exclusively for Drake. In retaliation, Detail was invited to Drake's Calabasas mansion, where Chubbs allegedly met him in the door and broke his jaw. Drake and Chubbs were also co-owners of Pick 6, a classy downtown Toronto sports bar where a 28-year-old man named Jaden Jackson was brutally murdered in 2018. Jackson had been partying at a private event hosted at the restaurant when he left with a young woman. As he was leaving, a black Civic spun around to pull up on Jackson. Jackson got spooked by whoever he saw in the car and took off running, while two gunmen jumped out and chased him into a parking garage, shooting him 20 times. All of this was caught on video, and it looks like gangland hit. Now, Drake has no affiliation with Jackson and never released a statement about the murder, and to be honest, there's no real need to. Drake wasn't at the party when Jackson got shot. He has no relation to the victim whatsoever, but the killing did put a dark cloud over Pick 6, which later closed in 2020. Baca Not Nice is another notorious member of Drake's inner circle. Baca allegedly used to run with Chubbs, and he served time for armed robbery, assault, and various weapons charges. Baca even got locked up for human trafficking charges in 2014 under accusations that he forced a 22-year-old woman into prostitution and then assaulted her. Drake name drops Baca frequently, implying that Baca would be quick to settle any beef with violence. Drake declared on Know Yourself that he might declare it a holiday when Baca gets on the road. And true to form, Drake helped boost Baca's music when he got out of jail in 2015, signing him to the label OVO and using him for background vocals on his projects. A lot of this street stuff, unfortunately, is bound to end in tragedy, and that's exactly what happened to one of Drake's close friends, Anthony Soares, better known as Fifth. In September of 2017, Fifth was walking into his apartment complex when two masked men ran up on him, gunning him down in the lobby. The footage was absolutely brutal. You can actually see one of the shooters fire point blank on Fifth's body before wiping his fingerprints off the door handle. The police even went ahead and called the murder a case of overkill. Needless to say, Drake was distraught over the killing of one of his close friends. He paid tribute to him by putting Fifth's face on the back of the cover of Dark Lane demo tapes, and he was a pallbearer at Fifth's funeral. Nobody was ever arrested for Fifth's murder, and the police expressed irritation that Drake didn't use his platform to try and get witnesses to come forward. So the question is, just how deep in this world is Drake? There's definitely no denying that he has a team around him ready to push the button in case shit goes down. And it is also clear that Drake has no problem using his crew against anybody who might disrespect him. Most of these guys' real dirty work happened during Drake's come up though, so they probably didn't have much to stress about during these days. And whether or not Drake's an actual mob boss, that's for you to decide.
Drake decided to take his beef with Kendrick Lamar a little. Now, it looks like Drake decided to take his beef with Kendrick Lamar a little too personal, because there are rumors saying that Drake allegedly got Kendrick's songs banned on every club. Yes, you heard it right. Drake is not moving on from his feud with Kendrick because now he is being accused of having K-Dot's Not Like Us banned in Houston. This news spread after a DJ from Houston named DJ Airy responded to an ex-user post that reads, "Drake really got Not Like Us banned in Houston." And while fans were just trying to make sense of the lack of Kendrick's songs being played in Houston, they did not expect to get confirmation right after. This was after DJ Airy quoted the tweet and wrote, "I done already got in trouble a few times for playing it at some clubs, but why did Drake choose Houston of all places?" Although it's unknown if Drizzy is actually in charge in this situation, it is known that the rapper has had quite a sentimental attachment to Houston since his early career. Jazz Prince, the son of well-known Rap-A-Lot Records founder Jay Prince, was primarily responsible for Drake's debut. Drake considered H-Town to be a second home and maintained a tight bond with the powerful hip-hop family. Drake also acquired a $15 million house in October of last year called The Inn at Dos Brisas, which is west of Houston. You can say that Houston is pretty special for him, and somehow Drake must have felt that there was no way he'd be hearing any of Kendrick's tracks in his territory, especially Not Like Us. This song might actually be one of the most loved diss tracks from all that Kendrick released during the beef, and obviously, K-Dot also loves the song as well, since he even performed it 5 times in a row during his recent concert.
I said. Oh, so y'all ain't gonna let nobody disrespect the West Coast, huh? Let's try it again. One more time.
And now, fans are even more mind-blown after Kendrick released a music video for the song with tons of Drake references on it. First, the music video for Not Like Us showcases multiple angles of the Los Angeles County Superior Court, located in Compton, California, along with moments of Kendrick and his supporters outside the court. The song's first verse, in which Kendrick refers to Drake as a may be seen as a reference to it. Another one is Kendrick's reference to Drake's diss track Push-Ups. Kendrick appears to be making reference to the song, as he is shown doing push-ups on cinder blocks in one shot of the music video. It's also possible that K-Dot might be pushing for Drake's arrest. This can be seen from the way the room is set up, and Kendrick's tracksuits all have a jail cell vibe to them. Additionally, Kendrick smacks an owl-shaped piñata, which is the insignia of Drake's record company, OVO, early in the video. And as if that's not obvious enough, Kendrick put a text at the bottom of the video saying, "Disclaimer, no were harmed in making this video." And when the video ends, Kendrick puts an actual owl in a cage and looks at it, implying that he knows he defeated Drake. To say that Kendrick is roasting Drake to his core is an understatement, and K-Dot is basically rubbing salt on Drizzy's wood by showing him how badly he crashed. Maybe this is why Drake didn't want the song to be played in a place special to him, and looking at how Drake's ego is being hurt this badly, it's not surprising if this rumor is really true. So how is Kendrick reacting to this? Well, obviously not happy. Though K-Dot did not release any public statements about the situation, Many believe that he might be brewing new diss and is preparing to spat some nasty verses at Drake once again. A fan commented, "You basically beg a man to drop, and when he do, and it's a banger, you can't take it." Another one added, "Drake and J Prince corny ASF, accept that L and get in the studio to make a better song, but Drake can't. K. done bruised that Canadian ego." There is no doubt that Kendrick destroyed Drake during their fiery beef. Even fans agree that Drake looked extremely devastated and looked like he had aged 10 years after the feud. And with Kendrick continuously mocking even after the fight, there's no doubt that Drake might actually pull some strings and get K. songs banned. I mean, who would want to listen to a diss track aimed at you, right?
Guys, it looks like Drake isn't getting away from controversies anytime soon, and this time it's SchoolboyQ who's beefing with him. Buckle up, y'all, because we've got some fresh drama brewing in the hip-hop world. So picture this, SchoolboyQ, you know, the guy from TDE, was all set to kick off his Blue Lips weekend tour in Toronto. Sounds cool, right? Well, hold on to your hats because things just got messy. Schoolboy's show in Toronto got canceled out of nowhere. And get this, he thinks it's all because of the beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Oh, snap. Now, if you haven't been following, Kendrick and Drake have been going at it lately. It's like watching two rap titans duke it out and everyone's picking sides. SchoolboyQ, he's Team Kendrick all the way. I mean, they've been buddies forever in TDE. He even popped up in Kendrick's latest diss track video, Not Like Us. Talk about loyalty, right? So Schoolboy's show was supposed to go down at this place called History in Toronto. Fun fact, Drake actually helped open this club back in 2021. Small world, huh?
After 3 years of construction and COVID delays, Toronto's own Drake, in collaboration with Live Nation, is ready to make history in his hometown. History as in his new club.
But then boom, the show gets axed. Schoolboy took to Twitter, or X, or whatever we're calling it these days, to spill the tea. He wrote, "They just canceled my show in Toronto. Canadian police don't want nobody from TDE performing. Yikes." Now here's where it gets extra juicy. Schoolboy's not just mad, he's throwing some serious shade. He's basically saying, look, if we wanted to cause trouble, we would have done it already. Ooh, the tension is real, folks. But wait, there's more. Schoolboy also dropped this little bomb. Apparently, TDE's big boss, Top Dog, was just hanging out with Lil Wayne and Baby. And get this, Party Next Door, who's with Drake's OVO crew, just had a show in LA, which is TDE territory. It's like a rap game of chess, and everyone's making moves. Schoolboy wrapped up his Twitter rant with his zinger. Now, when somebody gets hurt, don't cry. Whoa, is that a threat, a warning, or just some good old-fashioned smack talk? Who knows? But here's the thing. Schoolboy's not all doom and gloom about it. He actually found the whole situation pretty funny. He even joked about why Kendrick put him in that Not Like Us video. Gotta love a guy who can laugh at himself, right? Now let's talk about Drake for a sec. The Sixth God hasn't said anything directly about this mess, but you know he's gotta be aware of it. I mean, it's his hometown and it's his club. Plus, Drake's not exactly known for staying quiet when someone comes at him. And just to add to the drama, there's been some wild weather in Toronto lately. We're talking major flooding, power outages, the works. Drake even posted a video of his mansion getting flooded. Talk about when it rains, it pours. But hold up, because the plot thickens. The day after Schoolboy's show got canceled, Drake posted this selfie on Instagram. Now, normally I wouldn't care about a Drake selfie. Okay, that's a lie. I totally would, but this one's interesting. In the pic, Drake's wearing these fancy blue boots with crystals on them. Now, Schoolboy's latest single is called Blue Slides, and his album is Blue Lips. Coincidence? I think not. Is Drake trolling, or is this just a fashion statement gone wrong? And that's not all. Drake's also wearing a free Yayo shirt in the pic. For those who don't know their rap history, that's a throwback to when Eminem wore a similar shirt at the Grammys way back in 2003. Now, why does this matter? Well, Yayo, yeah, the guy the shirt's talking about recently did an interview where he talked about the Kendrick and Drake beef. He basically said Kendrick's crew should watch their backs in Canada. Oof. The plot thickens. So what does all this mean? Is Drake sending a message? Is SchoolboyQ really in danger in Toronto? Or is this all just a bunch of rappers playing a game of chicken? But let's be real for a second. As fun as it is to watch all this drama unfold, it's kinda scary too. Remember what happened to Rick Ross in Vancouver? He got attacked after a show where Not Like Us was playing. And back in 2018, Pusha T was attacked during a show in Toronto. This rap beef stuff can get real dangerous, real quick. One thing's for sure, this beef is getting more complicated than a Rubik's Cube. It's not just Kendrick versus Drake anymore. Now, we've got SchoolboyQ involved. Yayo's throwing in his 2 cents, and who knows who else might jump in next.
Y'all, it seems like Drake is stepping up his game after reports suggest that he might be trying to get the police to investigate Kendrick.
If you have been wondering what the hell is going on between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, I got you. I'm gonna break it down for you in like a couple minutes.
But here's the kicker. It seems like things are not looking pretty good, and Drake allegedly got busted for this stunt. I mean, talk about an unexpected twist, right? Buckle up, guys, because we are going to get into every detail of this mess. Okay, so we all know what went down between Drake and Kendrick, and unless you are living under a rock, it's almost impossible to miss their pretty public beef earlier this year. I mean, we got the best diss songs ever on top of the classic rap beef fans had been looking for. Well, fighting with each other in this industry is not a pretty sight to witness, but we can't deny the fact that waiting for the next diss to drop is undeniably entertaining. And at this point, the beef is not yet over. It's a little tame, but it's not going to end anytime soon. In fact, fans are saying that Drake and Kendrick are stepping up their games by sabotaging each other. Like recently, there have been reports that Drake is trying to get Kendrick's songs banned in Houston.
Drake bans Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Either directly or indirectly. Yeah, they're saying that there's been some DJs in Houston, Texas that were asked not to play the record.
Yeah, some got in trouble for it already, but
Yup, you heard that right. This was after a local DJ mentioned it, and fans were going wild. On July 22nd, a Houston DJ named DJ Ari responded to an ex-user who claimed that Drake really got Not Like Us banned in Houston. The DJ responded, "Yeah, I done already got in trouble a few times for playing it at some clubs." Other people made similar complaints on Twitter, with one stating that the clubs Sekai, Clay, Prospect Park, and Camp refused to play the track. So now, there's a possibility that Drake is taking this a little too personally and pulling strings to mess up Kendrick's career. Some fans found it amusing, while others did not. They thought it was stretching things out a little bit, saying Drake made it that deep when he called his daddy Jay Prince to ban Not Like Us in Houston clubs. But guess what? This is not going to be the last time Drake is taking extreme measures just to get some good old revenge to what Kendrick did. This time, he is accused of getting the police involved and dragging Kendrick into the mess. Everything started after SchoolboyQ's concert in Toronto got canceled. Fans were understandably upset, and of course Schoolboy was furious about it. And then he blamed Drake for what happened, saying this had something to do with his connection with Kendrick, like implying that Drake is going to mess with anyone close to Kendrick before he finally takes on Kendrick himself. For those who don't know, Schoolboy has been a longtime member of TDE and Kendrick Lamar's entourage. It was only fitting that he featured in Lamar's most recent music video for the highly successful Drake diss track, Not Like Us. In addition, Schoolboy was a special guest at Lamar's Juneteenth concert, and he was scheduled to perform in a sold-out concert at History, a 25.53 capacity club that Drake co-designed with global producer Live Nation. But then it suddenly got canceled. After this, Schoolboy speculated that it was canceled by Canadian police, who don't want nobody from TDE performing. A lot of people thought that it made sense. Not to mention, it was in Drake's hometown, so it's pretty easy to pull some strings. However, King Jared entered the picture and suddenly dropped some evidence that the police had nothing to do with what happened. We all know that he's a big supporter of Drake, which is why he got called out for allegedly making things up. One fan wrote, "Bro, did you just contact the Toronto Police Department yourself? You cosplaying as part of the Six never fails to make me question the whites." While another said, "So they took time out their busy day to email you. StubHub is a resale site. Don't Aubrey has ties with that particular venue? Is that the reason he worn the shirt?" Referencing Yayo comment on Vlad interview, King Jared insisted that he did not make things up, but he was not convincing anyone. Now they are saying that it's only a matter of time before Drake pulls the same stunt on Kendrick. I mean, he allegedly tried banning his song, so getting Kendrick in trouble with the cops is a piece of cake. Well, fans are saying that it's starting to make sense, and by the looks of it, he was actually warning us about Drizzy all along.
You like Drake?
No. My man.
he didn't even say a little bit. He didn't even say halfway.
That's my guy.
guy right there.
So, here's the tea. We all know that a lot of people are dissing Drake right now. I mean, ever since Kendrick Lamar opened up the floodgates when he dropped his ever-famous track, Not Like Us, almost all rappers jumped onto the bandwagon. And who knew that there were a lot of personalities in the industry who had beef with Drake? They were just waiting for the perfect timing to actually call him out. However, fans pointed out that before Kendrick, there was someone who first fired the shots at Drake, and it's none other than DMX. He was not mincing his words when he said this, and take note, this was way back in 2012 when he made an appearance in The Breakfast Club. So you can say that DMX was ahead of his time, like way ahead of everyone else in the dissing Drake saga. Anyway, when asked what he thinks about Drake, DMX went straight to the point and made sure that he got his message straight, which was very simple. He doesn't like Drake. Like literally, anything about the rapper does not spark him any joy.
So why don't you like Drake?
I don't like anything about Drake.
Mom,
I don't like his voice. I don't like what he talks about. I don't
see, I be trying to tell his face.
I don't like the way he walks, like nothing. I don't like his haircut. I might just let me shut up.
And if you have listened to Euphoria, you'll probably realize that Kendrick used the same wording in one of his verses. Genius? Going back, fans were quick to pull up the video of the interview, and soon after, it went viral on the internet. This also opened up a new conversation about whether or not DMX knew something. I mean, there have been a lot of things being thrown at Drake lately. One of the biggest might be his alleged connection with Diddy. And if you have been living under the rock, getting dragged into a mess with Diddy is not a good sign. Y'all, especially after what happened with Cassie's lawsuit and all the crazy Fed investigations that went after it. For those who don't know, Drizzy and Puff had a previous encounter in December 2014, and reports said that they got into a fist fight at DJ Khaled's birthday party in Miami, leaving the Toronto star hospitalized with an injured shoulder. Diddy is claimed to have confronted Drake at Club Live, telling him, "You'll never disrespect me again," before hitting him. But wait, there's more. While Drake might not have developed a close friendship with Puff, he allegedly likes to do some fishy business with him. Kendrick accused Drake of some nasty things in his diss tracks, one of which involved... Most believe that Kendrick was referring to the incident involving actress Millie Bobby Brown. She was 14 years old when she revealed that Drake was a great friend and role model. Get this, there's a 17-year-old age gap between them, and people find it odd that they were even interacting. You heard that right. And before you come up to me and say I'm jumping to conclusions a little too fast, a lot of people actually agree with this. Like this person who wrote, DMX was not a hater. He told the truth. While another added, so y'all gonna skip the part when DMX said Drake gulping and burping. He knew something. Then there's another possible angle we can talk about. This time, it includes the late Aaliyah. Drake had always been open about his adoration for Aaliyah, so much so that he proclaimed that he'd admire the late singer until he leaves the earth and meets her in the afterlife. Pretty intense, if you ask me. And ever since Aaliyah passed away in 2001, Drake has never failed to mention her whenever he has the opportunity. I mean, he shouted her out on wax, gotten her actual face tattooed on his actual back, and paid tribute to her with numerous interpolations, but not everyone is happy whenever Drake is involved. There was even a time when Aaliyah's fans expressed their disappointment when her posthumous album, Unstoppable, in which Drake and other rappers were announced to be featured. So maybe DMX was also part of that party. You know, he is also pretty much in love with Aaliyah, so it's no surprise that he might feel some sort of rivalry towards Drake because of that. Again, nothing is confirmed yet, but what do you guys think?